Hello, this is Dr. Keith Newby with Fort Norfolk Medical Associates and the James E. Newby Jr. Foundation. Let's Talk Health is a medical minute production designed to educate and enlighten our community on various healthcare topics, the goal of which is to help you achieve your optimum health, both physically, mentally, emotionally, financially, and spiritually. Each week, I will address a different topic relevant to our everyday lives. So let's get started. Hello. Today we will begin our discussion on coronary artery disease. Well, what is coronary artery disease? Well, that is defined as an occlusion of the coronary arteries. Every cell in the body needs oxygen in order to function, and it is supplied to the tissues through red blood cells. And the role that is taken to get red blood cells to the tissues, especially for the heart, is through the coronary arteries. Now, there are really three main vessels that supply blood to the heart. The left main artery, which splits into the left anterior descending, which supplies blood to the front wall of the heart. The circumflex vessel, which supplies blood to the back wall of the heart. And the right coronary artery, which supplies blood to the right side of the heart, the bottom wall of the heart. Now, essentially, the heart is a pump, and it takes that oxygenated blood to different parts of the body. In order for the body to function, the brain needs oxygen, the gut or the intestines, the kidneys, your muscles to the legs, all those needs oxygenated blood in order to function. So the heart has to pump blood to those areas, but it needs its own blood or food supply in order to maintain its function as a good pump, and that is given through those coronary arteries. So let me give you some analogies. You know me in these analogies to make sure you understand kind of how this whole scenario works. The first one we'll say is, say you have a garden in your backyard. It's a large garden, and you have to have an irrigation system in order to get water to those different parts of the garden. So typically it's going to be a pipe-based system supplying water to those different areas. Now, if you turn that pipe system on and water is evenly distributed to those different areas of the garden, with proper sun and care, the garden should grow and flourish. Now, say you have an area that's not getting adequate flow compared to another area. Well, that area of the garden that's not getting adequate water flow may not work as well, or I should say won't grow as well. And that can lead to that part of the garden either dying off or just not growing compared to the other parts of the garden. Now, that's kind of like how the heart works. These different vessels are taking oxygenated blood to these different areas of the heart. So if you have one area not getting adequate flow, that could be a problem. So essentially, if you occlude that vessel, or you occlude flow going to that part of the heart, that can lead to that area of the heart not flourishing, comparatively speaking. Now, second analogy is like a carburetor in your car. So if you look at your heart kind of like that car, the carburetor has to get adequate gasoline in order to function. So if you're going at slow speeds, then you need little gas to make the car work. As you speed up, you're going to need more gas getting to the carburetor to fire the pistons to make the car move. So say if you have a clogged fuel line, well, when you're going slow speeds, you can likely get adequate flow, and you can go 15-20 miles an hour no problem. And you start speeding up, say you try to get on the interstate, and you need more you need more gas to that carburetor, and you can't get it. That can lead to the carburetor not getting flow, which means the car's going to sputter, which means you won't be able to go as fast as you once did when the fuel line was unclogged. Well, the heart works the same way. Walking at slow speeds, you don't need that much blood flow, so you should be fine. As you speed up, then that will, if you have potential blockage, that can lead to you not being able to function adequately. You'll start to walk, you start getting symptoms that start to feel like you're just not getting what you need, and typically that's going to lead to symptoms such as chest discomfort or tightness in the chest, squeezing. Oftentimes people will get short of breath. They just feel exhausted, like they just don't have any energy. So, essentially what we're talking about is that occlusion of blood flow, which is usually caused by clot. You have a cholesterol plaque that'll start to grow in the vessel, and that's like that. Say if you see a pipe in the street that's starting to rust over, that things can start to grow inside that pipe. Dirt and other things can start to accumulate, which can eventually clog up that pipe. Well, the heart works the same way. The vessels, if they have atherosclerotic plaque, eventually clot loves to form on atherosclerotic plaque, and if it completely occludes the vessel, then that can lead to major problems. So that gets to our next discussion as in definition of terms. When you say heart attack versus angina or angina, typically a heart attack suggests that you have a total and complete occlusion of blood flow to that part of the heart versus a partial occlusion. A partial occlusion is if you're trying to walk and do activities and you can only walk a certain distance, and that can cause major issues. Well, if you have a complete occlusion, that's going to really cause major issues if you can't get any blood flow to the heart at all, and that area will die off unless you reestablish blood flow, which means you have to get to the hospital quick. So that's my discussion for now in terms of coronary disease. Next time we come back, we'll delve deeper in some causes of heart attacks and how do we prevent them. So I appreciate your time, and we will see you again next week for another episode of Let's Talk Health. Thanks very much. See you soon. Thanks for listening. I truly hope this message has somehow helped you and will start you down a path of good health. I'm more than happy to answer any questions you may have. Email me at dr.newby@yahoo.com. That's dr.newby@yahoo.com, and I will read and answer your questions with the next podcast. Take care and God bless.